So this one started out as a nightmare originally, and I don't remember many details, or hardly any details of the original nightmare portion. I only remember two creepy looking like children, and they were in a forest that was raining. It was raining in the forest, and there was a spotlight on them, and I think they were floating. But yeah, the two children were very creepy. And when you're in a dream, the feeling of creepiness is a lot more intense. Like when you're just watching a creepy thing on TV or something, like it's still just on the TV in front of you, and you can still look around and say, like, I'm still in the normal world. But when you're in a dream, and especially if you don't know that you're in the dream, the creepy feeling, I don't know, it's just a lot more intense. So I could feel like the shivers going down my spine and like the hairs on my arms and like on my neck standing up and like the adrenaline from the fear. So yeah. And then I had a false awakening. Uh Even though I wasn't lucid, like it was still a false awakening because in the dream I was dreaming that I woke up, but I didn't really wake up because I was still in a dream. You know what a false awakening is. So yeah, I thought I had woken up and I was like, that was a fucked up dream. And then, well, first of all, I was in my old room at my mom's house. So, not the room that is currently my room at my mom's house, but the one that was previously my room. And that one is kind of in the middle of the hall, looking down the stairs and like all the way towards the kitchen. But in this dream version of my old room, when I looked out the window, also, the actual door to that actual room doesn't have a window. But in this dream, there was a window in the store. And instead of seeing down the stairs to the kitchen, I had a view of this really creepy room that had all these antique old furnitures, and it was really dusty and dark in there. And so I was saying, well, no wonder I had a weird dream or a scary dream because that's a freaking scary room out there looking in at me. So I then went downstairs to watch TV and try to get the creepy feeling like out of my mind, which normally works after having woken up from a creepy dream, but since I was still in a dream, the creepy feeling wouldn't leave me. And at the time, what I was thinking was that I was thinking that it was because of those antique old furnitures that apparently we had purchased. And I thought that they were haunted and that the ghosts that were haunting that those furnitures had gotten into my dream and they were still following me around the house even though I had woken up. That was my theory at the time. I didn't know that I was in a dream. Still. So then my mom comes downstairs and I tell her of this theory. And she tells me that I'm just being crazy and freaked out. And obviously that frustrates me, right? When someone tells you that you're just being crazy. And then I punch her in the face out of frustration. And I was like, holy shit, I just punched you in the face. Why did I do that? And so I was like apologizing to her and stuff and like freaking out, like, how did I just punch you in the face? But then I noticed that my mom was not, she didn't appear to be in pain even though I punched her in the face. And my mom is normally doesn't have a very high tolerance for pain at all. Like she will like cringe and she will like whine and stuff. So I was like, that's very out of character of you, mom. And so that's when I realized that I was still in a dream and that this was not my actual mom. And this dream version of my mom, instead of, freaking out that she had just been punched in the face, she just glared at me, like very, very ominously. But then when I realized that I was still in a dream and she was not my real mom, I was like, wait a minute, you're not my real mom. And she kind of freaked out a little bit then, like, oh shit, the kid is finding me out. Like, he discovered that I'm not his real mom, right? So she's freaking out, and she's like, like, doesn't know what to say. And I'm like, too late. I already know that you're not my real mom and that I'm in a dream. So I then look to my left towards the hallway coming down from the creepy room, which is also in the direction of my room where I had just woken up, or thought I had woken up. And coming down the stairs and into the kitchen were the two creepy ghost children from my original nightmare, and an adult ghost, which was leading them into the kitchen. And there was a spotlight on them, following them down the stairs and into the kitchen, because the rest of the house had gotten dark at that point. So then I go into the kitchen to meet these ghost peoples, and I say, "What do you want?" Like, I knew that it was a dream at this point, but I still was thinking that they were ghosts in my dream. And so the adult ghost uh, gives me a box, and the box had a bunch of like hieroglyphics or like runes drawn on it. And I accidentally dropped the box, and one of the little ghost children picked it up for me and handed it back to me. So I was like, "Thanks, little ghost child." And I suppose that the adult ghost was going to explain to me what these strange symbols meant and stuff, and, show me what was in the box. But then I woke up at that point, which is kind of a bummer because this dream was going in a very interesting direction. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all. So yeah, I wasn't lucid for very long at all. But I thought that was a very interesting dream. It was like, I don't know. Like, sometimes you have a really cool dream and you just want to remember it, So, yeah. Anyways, I'll try to have a more successful and longer lucid dream later on this week. But until then, that is all. And so, peace out.